the train back to Boston, and we're jumping the gun, and I'm telling you, baby, this the part where I'd run, but I like it when you're nice, like it when you're nice to me.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to I Don't Get It, your pop culture get off my lawn cast, the podcast that features the open-minded musings of two specific early 50s curmudgeons as we bravely and boldly stare down our entertainment irrelevance. I am one half of your co-hosting team. My name is Noah Tarnow of the Big Quiz Thing, the Trivia Game Show Spectacular. And I'm on the East Coast. Just got here this morning. Bill, when was the last time we recorded when we were in the same time zone? We're both in the East Coast of the United States right now.
Well, it's true. The last time we recorded, we've been in the same time zone. We haven't recorded. You know what?
The last time we recorded together in person was what?
Ireland.
Dublin?
Ireland, yeah.
When we were in Ireland together 3 years ago.
I've been to the West Coast. We didn't record. I've been to the East Coast. We didn't record.
We recorded in New York the summer of 2017. Remember when we made Slime?
Yeah. Yeah.
An early episode.
Yeah, that was one of the...
We recorded a few times that summer. Maybe the next summer when I came back.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been a while. Anyway, nice to be here. I'm in Massachusetts. Bill's in upstate. It counts as upstate, right?
Yeah.
Anything that's not Manhattan is
Hudson Valley, maybe.
Hudson Valley.
Dutchess County, whatever you want to call it. It's temporary. It's temporary. So,
Beacon, whatever you call all those places.
But they get a break on the price, you know.
Anyway, welcome to the show. And who is this guy, Bill? Introduce yourself, sir.
You know, people would like to know. Well, let me. You said you're half of the hosting duo.
Yes.
If you're half, I'm at least 51% of it. If you're half, then I'm.
So we're such good hosts. We make up 101%.
We comprise 101%. We leave the last percent off for savings. My name is Bill Scurry. I'm the founder and proprietor of American Season Enterprises, which, as you all know, is the film crew which hold a steamship over the Andes with the assistance of fatigued Peruvian locals. Noah.
That was a good movie. I finally watched that movie last year.
Both
Fitzcarraldo is what he's talking about.
Yeah,
Fitzcarraldo.
both the movie and the doc. You know, you could even say the documentary, the less blank shot about it, Burden of Dreams, may well even supersede the film itself, just simply because it is a chronicle of madness. But they're both very compelling things. Herzog is the star of both of them, so far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fitzcarraldo, look it up, folks. Good movie. Good story behind the movie. Anyway, welcome. So yeah, we've been doing this show a long time. We just keep getting more entertainment irrelevanter.
Yeah, can you believe it?
This topic really brought it home for me because reading about this topic, the musician we're going to talk about, I read a lot where she was compared to other musicians. I hadn't even heard of most of those other musicians. We're talking about a woman who goes by the name Stella Lefty. By the way, if Wikipedia is to be believed, and I did not see evidence of this elsewhere, she styles Stella Lefty in all caps, which I really didn't see in other places. So
I have not seen that either.
I don't know why that was worth calling.
Yeah.
Her name is Stella Lefty. She is a country pop singer, I suppose. So this song, Boston, is a big hit right now. She's had a few other songs that have gone hits of some level. Kiss Me, Something to Lose, which is a duet with her boyfriend, Vincent Mason.
McMahon, yeah, whatever his name is.
Yeah, not Vince McMahon, no. So she broke out. Well, first of all, you need to know this. Her real name is Stella Lefkovsky. Is it Lefkowitz or Lefkovsky?
Lefkovsky.
I thought it was Lefkowitz, but I wrote down Lefkovsky.
No, it is. It's Lefkovsky. You're correct.
Lefkovsky. All right, very good. Stella Lefkovsky. She was born August of 2002, Bill.
Yeah. I mean, we
oh, my God!
We were both 13 that year, so that's, for us...
No, we weren't!
Oh, we weren't. Sorry, I'd like to amend my assertion
Oh, my God.
There.
When famous people were born months, you remember like they were like 2 years ago. It really makes you feel old. It'll happen to you too.
Yeah, listen carefully, folks.
She was born she's from the Chicago suburb. She's a country star, quote unquote, from the North, following in the tradition of Aaron Lewis and Eddie Rabbitt and Jody Messina and Katie Lang.
Keith Urban too she's not from country at all. He was Australian of all things.
That's right. Yeah. Well, that isn't the North, but
the north of Queensland, perhaps.
Yes, maybe. That's right. He's Australian. Anyway, She comes from money. Her father is a man named Eric Lefkovsky, who is one of the founders of Groupon. Now, Groupon. I thought Groupon was a thing of yore. I never got into Groupon. I thought Groupon was one of those things that was more hype than whatever. But apparently that was enough to make him a lot of money. He moved on. He was a co-founder of Groupon. He was CEO of Groupon. He later founded an AI health company called Tempest AI. That's what he's doing now. He's a multi-billionaire. His net worth is somewhere just shy of $5 billion.
That's billion with a G. That's what I'm saying. Right. Yeah.
She went to Tulane University. She wasn't into music at first, but in 2024, she started writing songs and posting them on TikTok. And she went viral with her first original song, Kiss Me. And then released her debut EP in 2025. Starting this year, she had a viral hit with Thinking About You. That's right, Think About You is the song that I first heard. And now Boston is supposedly the song of the summer with a very nostalgia button pushing video. We're going to talk about that video in a minute. It's called country pop. She's got the country twang, even though she's from Chicago. The song, by the way, she's got a song. She's from Chicago. The song's called Boston, and it sounds like she's from the South. So she's covering all her bases here. The song is written by her, but technically co-written by her. Because it's co-written by someone who we almost did an episode on. Remember, we were going to do an episode on this guy, and we backed away.
I have a research notes doc in the offing in case we whip it out someday. Yeah, it's
Noah Kahan.
Keep your powder dry on Noah Kahan. Exactly.
Right. Noah Kahan had a hit song a few years ago with Stick Season. And Boston sounds so much like Stick Season that she gave Noah Kahan a co-writing credit. The term that is floating around is interpolation of Stick Season, which is a nice way of saying rip off.
Exactly.
Which basically means rip off when you give them full credit. So it sounds a whole ton like Stick Season. So she's all over the place. She's got Boston alone has 88 million plus streams on Spotify. Supposedly the song of the summer. Part of the controversy here, part of the issue here is because her father is a multi-zillionaire, because this song took off virally very quickly, because she was playing the CMA Awards before she had an album out, because she booked a tour before she had an album out, a headlining world tour before she had an album out, there are accusations that she is, the term that's being thrown around is industry plant. Another term being thrown around about her, which was a former topic of ours, is Nepo baby. Now, I think there are arguments about whether either term applies to her, but suffice it to say, many people are dubious that this is a artist whose success has come from grit and hard work rather than connections and perhaps even something more nefarious, manipulation of the algorithm. Remember, her father runs an AI company. So I listened to some songs by Stella Lefty. I read some of the discourse about Stella Lefty. We both read some funny YouTube comments about Stella Lefty, watched some TikTok videos. What do you think of this, Bill?
Well, this is we got a dill of a pickle, don't we, here?
Yes, we do.
The knock on this kid is that, that the whole industry plant thing, those words sound, the way you say it, it really is insidious because I'm trying to think if there's like a worse claim. Like, is there a bigger slur in music to historically in the last 70
sellout?
Sell is bad, but you needed the boomer generation to get to sell.
Corporate tool.
Corporate shill. Yeah, I think industry plant is like historically one of the worst things you could be decried of being accused.
I think it's more a modern thing because there's more cognizance among the general public that, frankly, it's always been this way. Things are hits because the people in charge decide they're going to be hits.
Yeah,
I mean, that's 2/3 of the formula, even in the best of times.
I mean,
I think now everyone understands that's minimum 2/3.
I'm not saying that Jones, Torque, Nesmith, and what's his face, like they weren't industry plants, but they were sort of a fabricated band of the Monkees. I don't think you can call them an industry plant. Nepo baby is a bad one too, but the thing is, it's like that's kind of washing off people like Teflon to some degree. In that, Nepo baby has like increasingly been hauled off on thrown at people's backs. It slides off them like You think that the whole point of being
I think it's misused a lot, but yes.
Misused or not, I don't think it sticks anymore. It just doesn't matter. Like, we had to, like, if you're keeping score at home, right? You already have a few of them out there right now at the moment. You got Gracie Abrams is kind of a pop star, a flash in the pan at the moment. Does she have a career?
Arguably Taylor Swift is a Nepo baby.
Yeah, arguably Taylor Swift is a Nepo. I mean, she's a Necco wafer, right? I think, look, at this point, Taylor Swift changed the business. Nepo baby or not, that's the you say what you will. Somebody said SZA, of all people, who went to. She was, her parents were CNN executives. I didn't realize that. I read this.
She went to the same high school I went to for 9th grade.
Yeah, that's true.
Although many years later, but.
Anyway, so the thing is, there's like a termite infestation in the music business of Nepo babies to begin with. That's not keeping people out. It's not stopping people from buying music. But anyway. But Noah, let's just get this off out of the way up top. The music is terrible. I hated every single minute of this. I don't think that I have listened to something so poor in the service of this podcast since we covered 100 Gex. That's how bad this was to me.
100 Gex was see, I'm going to argue with you that 100 Gex, for many reasons, was head and shoulders superior to this. Because it was original.
It was original, but it was...
My problem with this is how mediocre... I don't think it's the worst thing. I think it's just mediocre.
All right, look...
100 Gex, say what you want. It might have been the most annoying music ever made, but it was different.
This is not my accusation alone to call this knockoff country, because I am calling it that, but other people said that is one of the knocks on this music is that... Even you asserted in your introduction that it's kind of like... it's like mimeograph. It's like, what is it? Like a notepad at a hotel that you peel the first page off and you look at the second page, you see the indentation of the number somebody wrote down. That's what this feels like in terms of like country music, I think.
If you're going to rip off a song or interpolate a song, to interpolate or rip off a song that's like 2 years old really makes you look desperate.
You know what? With a gun and a pantyhose over my head, I interpolated a bank, Noah. Is that what you want to hear? I'm sorry. Here's the thing, though. In a strange twist of fate, I did mention, at the same time we were kind of scrambling around for this week, I did say I wanted to do country. I hadn't done country in a while. For some reason, I was sitting there with a whetstone, sharpening my blade in front of you, saying, I really wish we could talk about something country, because it had been a minute. I don't know if it was Scotty McCreery or
No, we did Morgan Wallen.
We did Morgan Wallen. Okay, right. That's what I was thinking. Yeah,
I think that's the last country artist.
It had been a minute since we talked about that. Yeah. So that's the whatever. Let the irony float in the wind here. So, but I think I believe of this topic about this woman. I believe in the benthic chasm, Noah, of public music tastes. But I don't believe in the conspiracy of a billionaire able to adjust the levels of algorithmic enhancement with enough facility that he can buy his daughter a career. As much as people want to believe this, that's my inclination. We talked about this way at the beginning when Lana Del Rey, which is way like in the first 5 or 6 episodes of the show. We talked about the Lana Del Rey Great Turtle Creation myth, where the entire universe is on the turtle's back and Lana Del Rey is making music, that her father essentially purchased her a career because he too was
Lizzie Grant became
a
Trailer Park Chanteuse Lana Del Rey.
Sad girl makeup. She looked like a drowned girl, that sort of thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can't remember what I said about it back then, but the thing is, I think it I know I hated her, but I'm saying about the accusation that she was a plant. I mean, there was definitely something went awry when Lana Del Rey kind of escaped containment and became a pop. Like, she was a joke until she wasn't a joke. And
I know a lot of smart people who think she's awesome.
Yeah, but no, when she hit into that Saturday Night Live, like, people, that was mockery incarnate at the beginning. Yeah. And then I think because she escaped containment, went to the gays adopted her and gave her some credibility that she didn't have.
The gays, sometimes the gays have pretty bad taste.
Yeah, but it's like they broke her out. The thing is, and Stella Lefty did not need any of that. She just went right to the algorithm. She went right to skipping the throat clearing, and she just decided in her notebook, I want to write music, and then she was famous about 17 minutes later, which, that's the way the world works these days. But I think that, like, the whole idea of like, it seemed to me that, like, Lana Del Rey's origin story as perhaps somebody whose dad bought her a business, and that Stella Lefkovsky's getting the same thing. I think that's kind of like Jewish space lasers. If you think that TikTok and social media is as easily mutable as that, then I don't know what to tell you, because it's like, I'll tell you, you can definitely buy followers, but it's like you can't buy what she has going for her. That is,
you can put your thumb on the scale for sure.
You bet, but you can't get. And granted, let's not
You put multiple thumbs on the scale.
if you get thumbs transplanted on you, if you have like AI hands, 6-fingered hands in an AI
Yes,
drawing.
artificial intelligence. There's no limit to opposable thumbs for an artificial intelligence.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't want to overstate how big her. If going by YouTube plays, for instance, which I don't, that's not necessarily the big driver because she's going through traditional music. I think it's got to be Spotify and things like that. But her YouTube presence is actually pretty low. I mean, relatively speaking, I think Boston only has like 1 million plays. Now that may sound like a lot, and it is for you or me. But if you go to like fucking Noah Kahn right now, that guy's got like 38 trillion plays of Stick Season, for instance. Now, granted, he's got time, and he's been playing all around. He's been gigging around the country, but like what she's got is kind of the nascent beginnings of a sensation. So she's got something, but she can't go and buy her own Gulfstream jet just yet. Let's put it that way.
Yes, she can.
I don't know if she's made that much money off her career.
No, her dad's got $4.8
Okay,
billion.
yeah, no, that's true.
I mean, okay, maybe she can't, but her
true.
father can.
No,
her
that is
family
true.
can.
All right, and
If she kills her parents, she can.
No, I brought this up, Noah, because again, we're talking about somebody who elided the name Lefkowski in favor of something more waspy sounding, and the fact that
Lefty doesn't sound waspy; it sounds made up.
Okay, made up waspy, whatever. And the fact is that there's this sort of elision of I don't know, but I fear that there's a perceived illusion of Judaism, and the fact that the Judaic heritage is mentioned all over the place, and I kind of wondered, like I said, if there isn't some twinge of a little bit of anti-Semitism in
the rich Jew trying to buy the
yeah, no, it's like not. I'm saying against her accusations, a sort of climate. I don't think it comes from her at all. There's like I don't think she's using it. It's just not. It's not one of those things. But it's like it's not something I've heard in a while, and I don't. It's kind of unusual to see it in this context. Anyway, what do you think about it?
Look, I don't think this is the worst music I've ever heard. I think it might be the most mediocre music I've ever heard. It's perfectly pleasant. It's got nice melody. I mean, her voice sounds like every other country twinged female voice in the universe right now. Very unoriginal, very, formulaic, but there's nothing grating about it. I think these songs, especially Boston, especially the video, we'll talk about that, kind of pulls some certain nostalgia strings. I saw a comment somewhere that said, you might be crapping on this song now, but 20 years from now, people who are 20 years old right now are going to be remembering this fondly. I think it's very good, having a sound that, I don't know how to put this into words, that kind of digs into your soul, about I'm on the trip to see you, I like you, I'm fond of you. It's got a kind of emotional, I don't want to say heft because it's very lightweight, but emotional resonance that is very targeted, very savvy, and frankly, very effective. For good or ill, very effective. But these are not good songs. They don't go anywhere. Every song just goes in circles here, right? There's no insight. There's nothing original to them. As I indicated before, look, all art is about stealing to some extent, right? That's the way it is. But I'm really suspicious when you are interpolating or borrowing or paying homage to something that is so recent, because it makes you seem very pedestrian, very hemmed in. It's like, I know this is the old man in me talking, but when a pop star now is like, oh, my influences are, and she only names people who, came up in the last 5 years. It shows you have a very shallow understanding. You haven't drunk deep in the history of music. And I don't mean to be a snob,
there
but
used to be handlers. Handlers used to
who do I handle?
They used to guide your words so that you would, even by accident, you would say, you know what, I love double fantasy. They would say, it's like, for God's sake, just say you love double fantasy, and these people will stop bothering you over what you're saying.
She can't say I love Dolly Parton. Like, that would give her more legitimacy.
She could. It's like,
how hard is that for any woman on earth right now?
Everyone still knows who Dolly Parton is. There's no comms. There's no sort of counseling. And to be fair, kids shouldn't need comms and all that shit. But if you're a fucking pop star, you should have comms. You should have people who fucking counsel you and handle this shit. But anyway, whatever. Go on.
That other country song that's bigger right now. I forget the artist name. Choosing Texas. You heard about this song? It's all over the place. We don't want to get into it. It's the center of a stupid political controversy now because some right-wing asshole has claimed, oh, since this song's a hit, it means country is back, American values are back.
Just say right wing. We don't have all day.
Right. Anyway, but the joke is he says choosing Texas is about loving Texas. No, choosing Texas is basically, I don't think an interpolation because I don't think it's a tune, but it is thematically similar to Jolene by Dolly Parton. This woman says choosing Texas means he's choosing this girl from Texas instead of me. It's boring, but it's pretty clever. I don't even remember the artist's name. Let's not get into that. So, a few other things here. These songs are dull. I find her to be dull. I watched some of her TikTok videos. I watched some brief interviews. She has no insight. Damn, is she an uptalker. Really annoying. So, Boston changed my view of music because usually I have an idea. But for this, I went with my gut. Very annoying.
I mean, are we allowed to? I've been told that that's sort of snobby classes to point that out.
Okay, fine. I will say this. I don't think that's a woman thing. Plenty of men up talk too.
No, it's true. It's true.
But it does annoy me. Her TikTok videos are very contrived. I mean, frankly, I saw her do a TikTok video where she's lip syncing shoes in Texas. She looks like every other girl on TikTok. She's got the made-up face, but she's wearing the hoodie. She's acting like this is the funniest thing in the world, but it's the same thing every other girl does. And that video for Boston really creeps me out. It's her sitting on a piano singing while her boyfriend's playing the piano. And just like a bunch of people look like her friends, like grooving and singing along in the room. And it's you watched this video, right?
It's one take. Yeah, there's a lyric
one take,
video.
But it zooms in and out.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. It looks like it's made by AI. Am I wrong?
That's interesting because looking like it's made by AI means so many different things these days. And unfortunately, This is one of them. The sort of organic nature of what that's supposed to be. That's supposed to look like a salon. Where it's
got a very artificial tinge to it that I find.
I hear you. It didn't occur to me, but
I might be wrong. I don't want everything's AI. I don't want to say that, but like there's just something very artificial to it that I find. There's an uncanny valley effect to this video. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get you. I hear you.
Now, as for the Nepo Baby industry plant thing, we'll talk about more of that in a minute. But I'm a word person. I think words matter. And I blanch a little at giving her the label Nepo Baby. Because I feel like there was an accusation against Zoran Mamdani that he's a Nepo Baby. Just because his parents are well-to-do.
Well, his mom made a movie 30 years ago. I understand.
His mom made a movie. His dad was a very successful intellectual. He does not come from. I don't know if he comes from wealth, but he comes from comfort.
There's wealth. Yeah, no, it's true. I get it.
Okay, fine. But people saying he's not a Nepo Baby. Nepo Baby would mean Andrew Cuomo. Your parents
yes,
are
exactly
in politics. His parents are not in politics. So, strictly speaking, Eric Lefkowski is not in music. Now, I'm sure he's got connections. I'm sure he kicked doors open for her. If nothing else, she's a rich kid. And rich people, rich artists, rich creative people have the luxury of failing and trying again.
That is really worth mentioning. Absolutely.
I should know because I have benefited from some of that. All right. I'm a creative person. I have built a business that was, for most of it, was not very lucrative, but I knew that I had a backstop. I mean, I also worked my ass off and I had worked in a day job for a long time. But I don't know. There's no point in being defensive here. There seems to be a lot of that music these days. A lot of rich kids, if not Nepo babies, a lot of people who have that backstop. And I'll get more of that in a minute. But I don't know, just because you have that comfort and that privilege doesn't mean you're a bad artist. But there's something profoundly sad when someone who has that privilege just seems to be doing so little with the opportunity and making such milquetoast, bland, retread pablum.
I can't lie, I was born this way. Stubborn girl with a heart untamed, if you're asking.
Noah, why in the fuck piss hell is this popular?
Well, let's get this out of the way. There is a country wave right now. I mean, there's always a country wave, but country is definitely ascendant at the moment. More now than it has been in other eras. I think a lot of that is tied in with the power of grievance culture. I think a lot of people want to embrace country because they see country as what they define as American, which in many cases is, I mean, sure, country music is very American, but they define that as the only American music because their entire philosophy is based on grievance and insecurity. So that twang communicates something potent to people. And I think a lot of people are probably hearing this music and liking it and not processing that she comes from money, that she comes from Chicago. They hear the twang, they like it, that's all that matters to them. They say, this is my music. It's the reason right-wingers get so upset that Taylor Swift is not a right-winger, because they think that stuff belongs to us. So, there you have it. Like I said, it's mediocre, it's milquetoast. I don't find it grating. Frankly, I don't even think it's bad. I mean, I guess it's bad, but it's not awful. It's perfectly pleasant. Like I said, it has the power of emotional connection without demanding too much of the listener. I love that quote. 20-year-olds are going to remember it fondly 20 years from now. She has no insight when she talks, but maybe that's part of it. She's unoffensive. She's very pretty. And look, is she an industry plant? That might account for it. I mean, if you really believe that she's an industry plant, it's popular because the algorithm has been manipulated. And I am going to read right now a quote that I read, a comment on YouTube that you independently read and said to me. I didn't write down the name of the YouTube commenter as if it matters. So here's what this person wrote. I don't entirely agree with this. Stella Lefty is an obvious industry plant in a way that goes beyond Gracie Abrams et al. Being Nepo babies. Stella's dad, Eric, is a billionaire who owns an AI tech company. And we're supposed to believe that she had an overnight viral hit organically, even though she was unknown and had few followers? Her numbers inflating essentially overnight are unrelated to her dad's AI tech company, I'm sure. Multiple prominent TikTokers suddenly using Boston beginning almost on the same day was just a funny coincidence, and they all discovered the song organically. Her being booked at notable country music fests with zero live experience or released music is totally not the influence of her billionaire dad, who co-founded Groupon and who travels with her as a pseudo manager, unquote. All right. Obviously, he's being sarcastic. I don't entirely believe this. You clearly don't believe this, but I don't think it's impossible.
Yeah, I mean, that's bad enough. You're right. That's damning enough.
I think look, you can't, no matter how much money you throw at something, you can't guarantee something's a hit. But as I said, you could put many thumbs on the scale. So why is this popular? I think we cannot discount the possibility that powerful people, or specifically a powerful person, demanded that this be popular and tweak the system. The corporate machine, which is more corporate and machine-like than ever before in popular music. He wanted this to be a hit. He determined to make it a hit. It wasn't a guarantee he'd succeed, but you know what? He did.
Well, I'm going to judge this by the scattering of comments that you referred to, again, looking at social media, looking at YouTube, looking at these things. It's said that she's got a raspy voice for country, decent phrasing of the country music elements that are kind of like right out of the 101 textbook. I think she digs into the music as any 13-year-old person would. This is like, you're not supposed to have a lot of depth when you're dealing with, if you're this young, maybe you have talent out of the box, but you're not going to have the ability to kind of like recontextualize the way music.
I disagree. Tons of artists have been innovative at 23.
Some do.
Most classic rock stars.
A lot don't, but a lot don't. And a lot of people have passed through the frame with a success. And again, there's no,
Well, not everyone could be a genius, otherwise.
And she's not a genius. There
wouldn't be geniuses.
So, I would interject and suggest that, for instance, this quote unquote interpolation of Noah Kahan's Stick Season offers her to listeners as kind of a sound alike. I mean, clearly it's a chord structure and a sort of chorus of something that was already catchy, something that if you were that familiar, but it's like
I know this song.
And
sometimes that's enough.
I did not listen to Noah Kahan. I mean, until we did research for an episode that never happened, essentially. And I'm like, I would have never come across this. This is so outside of my gamut. I would never listen to this. And it's like, and that's why I would have never heard of Stella Lefty either, because it's like she's referencing him. He's already in a sort of folky, quasi demi-country feel that I'm not going to hear anyway. But that's like the kind of pop that's going around right now. That is syncretic. That is exactly what she would listen to and eat up so much that she would preemptively give him songwriting credit, even though he had nothing to do with writing the song, other than just standing still and getting ripped off, And, I think that the whole point, Rick Beato, you mentioned him, I'll say again, Rick Beato just did a video that came out in the last 36 hours where he's talking about something called the millennial, I think it's the millennial chord structure, just something, the millennial. And this whole thing is like, listen to all
Chris Melanthe's talked about that.
Yeah, all these songs have the same kind of chord structure, and it goes back to, like, the first person to do it was the Beatles in some song off of, I can't remember what album it was. It's essentially a chord structure and a chorus where it has like an ascending and descending structure. And he says that it's been repositioned 1,000 times over the years because it's hard to get away from it because it's such an element of pop music. So people have been ripping themselves off. I mean, whether they know it or not, they're sort of like treading over the same ground.
At this point, it's mostly subconscious, I would
Correct. Yeah. I mean, I think in some cases, some people are doing it knowingly. I think she's doing it subconscious. Again, she's a kid. She's still a fucking kid. By the way, did you read that she was, like most country singers, she did a semester abroad in Amsterdam.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Well, she started posting on TikTok when she was depressed in Amsterdam.
Yeah, depressed in Amsterdam.
So she's from Chicago. She sings like she's from the South.
But she grew up in Los Angeles. She grew up in LA.
Oh, she grew up in LA?
Good at leaving for no good reason.
Bill, is there any universe in which if you were young now, you would not be so down on the phenomenon that is Stella Lefty, Lucy,
righty to lefty Lucy, big loopy, little loopy. There has never been a moment in my life where country music has been something other than an execrable form of sonic trash to me.
I like Johnny Cash.
I appreciate Johnny Cash. I can't listen to Johnny Cash.
I think Johnny Cash is pretty awesome. He's the only country artist I genuinely am a fan of.
Merle Haggard. Look, I can appreciate Willie Nelson and Merle Haggard and these guys. I get it, but I can't listen to it. I just can't listen to it. It doesn't work. So like neither.
I thought the Dixie Chicks are really interesting when they broke out. Not my thing, but damn,
I know their song names, but I did not listen to the Chicks for a single second. So neither Stella Lefty's style nor her music would have punched through to me. The barrier, this country music berm, is like too high to ford. It's too daunting to overcome for me. Like as we know, Noah, after folk music and doo-wop, there is no more deplorable sound in the American imagination than country music.
Whoa. You think folk music and doo-wop are deplorable?
Execrable.
There are so many worse forms of music than those.
Sandpaper on the cochlea. It's
so
terrible.
many worse genres of music.
I would dispute
First of all, a lot of doo-wop is really magical. It's really beautiful.
Okay, sure.
Second of all, a lot of folk is fucking powerful.
Junk.
In fact,
it's junk.
We're going to get to this in Apocalypse. You want to talk about art. You want to talk about passion. You want to talk about music that really is about... I'm jumping ahead. Outsiders, people from the fringes, that's folk music. Who do you think made America? Who do you think made American culture? Fucking Woody Guthrie.
All right, man.
Fuck you.
What about you? Would you have liked it as a kid?
No, I would not. I see through it just the way I see through it now. I will say this, though. I got to admit, I think Stella Lefty is a very attractive young woman. I mean, she's 23 and 51.
It's funny.
Let's leave it there.
As much as I just accused the world of anti-Semitism, it's like she honestly looks like every Jewish girl I grew up with in Suffolk County.
Really? I don't think she looks Jewish at all.
There's a plainness about her.
She looks very Western.
I could have seen her as an intern when I worked at dance papers out in Bridgehampton. She looked like someone's famous daughter who would have done the summer reporting.
I can believe that.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
yeah.
I don't think she has a stereotypically Jewish face. Anyway, I think she's very attractive. So if I were a young man, I would embrace that crush more than I do, considering that I am, technically old enough to be her
great grandfather. All right, Noah, let's talk about the apocalypse. What do you see? What do you augur when you look into your vizier's, your pool of water that tells you the future?
There is nothing inherently wrong with being a rich kid who becomes an artist. A lot of rich kids have done fantastic art. Just being rich and privileged does not mean you do not have the quote-unquote suffering. Suffering is a harsh word for it, but the life experience to express something profound. I mean, rich people have problems that poor people don't have. They are much better problems to have than poor people problems, generally speaking. But there is definitely struggles that people go through even if they come from money. But the fact that she is so clearly emblematic of this, and then you got your Gracie Abrams, you got your Taylor Swifts. I saw a list of I can't think of it now, other pop people who came from privilege. Top of the charts seem to be covered with people who came from privilege. Stella Lefty is a depressing reminder that in our modern society, more and more creating art that reaches the masses, mainstream art, is becoming a luxury. Creating that art is becoming a luxury. Something only the privileged can do. And yes, privileged people, like I said, can still express something real. But if that's all that's happening out there, it really makes me wonder where the true fire and the true passion is coming from. Is this going to be more and more mediocre art like this that doesn't stir our souls? Will this be all mainstream culture is? Now, no, of course not. There's always stuff happening on the fringes. There's always excitement underground, or these days on the web, because anyone can push their stuff out there. Whether it's noticed or not is another story. But that kind of art deserves, some of that art, the best of that art, deserves a place at the center of everything, just like the good art from the rich kids. But it's getting crowded out because the machine now only makes room for the rich kids. And when there isn't room for a different experience, for a different class experience, it dulls us down into mediocrity, and more, it makes Americans into the selfish dummies we've become, much to our suffering.
Well, not us, but I understand other people.
No, I'm not a selfish dummy. I'm a dummy, but I'm not selfish.
Right. And I'm selfish, but not a dummy.
Yeah, I'm selfish part of the time.
I'm not selfish, but I'm a dummy.
Not when it matters.
True. Yeah. Like every time a wealthy prep school kid from LA gets to practice country music, ironically, while being rewarded with clicks and downloads and millions of YouTube plays.
I don't think it's ironic. You think it's ironic?
An angel gets their wings, Noah. Is it ironic? I don't know. I don't think it's ironic, but I sort of feel like it's slumming a little bit. Here, let me elaborate on this, okay? So here's the thing. All right, if her phenomenon was larger, I might say that this artist proves the axiom that country fans are easily hoodwinked, easily deceived into accepting any gormless bullshit placed in front of them, so long as
call me an elitist, but I can believe that.
So long as it's termed country music. And the thing is, look, I have the same truck with horror movies. I want this is the elaboration. In terms of an art form, for me is more native filmmaking and movie going and movie watching. Horror movies, to me, the genre of horror, there is an unqualified acceptance of any dog shit so long as it's blessed with the term horror. The fans eat it up. There's a lot of mediocre movies that cross over. And that's why I'm saying it's like I'm not just shitting on country music. I'm shitting on any kind of either genre or expression of art where the barrier to entry is all you need to do is just sort of show up with a t-shirt that says I am country music, and it's like they let you in, and like honestly the sky's the limit because you're inside this club. It's pretty unqualifying.
Well, we saw dancing with the lights down low. Boy, you got me blushing when you talk so slow.
Bill, is there any way you are jealous of Stella Lefty and or the phenomenon that is Stella? Is she a righty, or is she? If she's not left-handed, that would be ironic.
Stella ambidextry?
It would be like the fact that Barry Manilow, who was a very successful songwriter, did not write "I Write the Songs." That is peak pop music irony.
How about that? Weird. No, this is gleefully uncomplicated N/A. No, this is a not applicable, but that's standard fare for any country music topic. I think we've borne that out in the history of the show. The irony is that I love to talk about country music as a phenomenon, but I don't want to fucking listen to it. All right, this is a quandary, Noah. This is a quandary for the professional podcaster working at the very top of his skill set, at the crest of his abilities. It's like me. I
like watching movies about sports, but I don't want to watch sports.
That's where we're at. Anyway, how is jealousy infesting your soul like termites or what?
look, as a creative professional, I'm always jealous of anyone who finds great success and a wider audience for their work. But for the most part, I'm not jealous of her. I have pounded the pavement metaphorically for a long time now. I've built something. Is it what I wanted to build? The heights I wanted to reach? No. I still got some fight in me. I'm still, trying to get higher, and I think it's possible. But at the end of the day, I'm glad I didn't have doors. Yes, I had some privilege, but limited. I had a backstop financially. I did not have any
Yes,
connections
a
in the
safety net of
industry.
failure. Right, exactly.
But no one made me connections in the business. Any connection I made in the business, I made myself. So at the end of the day, I'm glad I've struggled because I think it's made me a more complete person. And while on the surface, yeah, sure, it would have been great to like catch fire immediately and be touring the world 2 years into, discovering my art or what have you. I there's something people like that lose. And there's something people like that never get to have or very rarely get to have that I'm very glad I do have. I've lived a life, goddammit, and I'm proud of that, and I'm happy about that. So, yeah, I'm tiny, tiny, tiny bit of jealous.
So where on the scale would you sling this, Noah? The XYZ axis?
Very simple. 1/4 Taylor Swift plus 1/4 Morgan Wallen times 7/8 Nepo Baby plus 72.138. And that's where you arrive at Stella Lefty.
I was going to say
Lefty.
If all those things together equal 100 gex, nice round number of gex, as we know. So yeah, this is a weird summation, but it's like I kind of want to defend this kid against the brickbats of immoderate hurlers who were expressing anger at her as a phenomenon. However, the music is terrible to me, full stop. But shouldn't the idiotic vacant listening public be given the chance to pass fail their own shitty sensations if they want? This is the whole thing. It's like you choose your music. I disagree with it. A lot of the stuff just passes right by me and I shit on it. So I think, Noah, she's sort of like the audio equivalent, the aural equivalent of vertical video in short form. So she kind of reminds me of Quibi if Quibi was a person.
Do you think she's going to be as much a flash in the pan?
No. Quibi was kind of like a thing now that is... Quibi's not just a flash in the pan. Quibi is like a punchline. It's one of those things like New Coke. People will, it's less a flash in the pan and more like a cautionary tale and something that is going to be used against the people that brought it against you for a long time.
It's interesting that you compare her to Quibi because I feel like comparing her to Quibi would support the theory that she's an industry plant because Quibi was very manufactured, very told this is what you like, shoved down people's throat. Yeah. It never connected with people.
Enormous
blame it on the pandemic, but I think it had more problems.
Enormous budget out of the gate too. There's like billions of dollars. Yeah.
So I think likening it to Quibi, is framing her as an industry plant. But you think she's not an industry plant.
No, I don't.
You think she's less a plant than I do.
I think
she's more a mushroom.
I think you're a plant. You're an industry fungus. You said lichen. You did say lichen her,
plant.
so she's a lichen.
I'm an industry lichen. Yeah.
All right, I think we're done with this then, Noah. That's about it.
We're done.
So if you
want
to find past episodes on country music, flashes in the pan, look on Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
Well, we've done Scotty McCreery, we've done Morgan Whalen. Let's add them up.
I don't think we did a third. I can't. I'm not really. It's not hitting.
I'm going to look at. You keep talking. I'm going to look at the list.
Yeah, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Google Play, Blue Sky us at noahandbillshow.bsky.social. Write to us, Noah and Bill Don't Get It at gmail.com. Reviews, we love those. I am assailable socially at billscurry.bsky.social, at William Scurry on Twitter and the other thing, Instagram. YouTube.com/amcaesar. You'll find the video work. That's again, I don't know. We may pivot on doing on camera. I don't think so. We're probably never going to do the show on camera. But there at least is an evidence.
Don't hold out for that.
Don't hold out for that. Anyway, and here's Noah. I'm sure he'll come back at us with a statistic and he'll tell you where to find him.
Yeah. All right. Well, we did an episode on Old Town Road, which I maintain is country music. Two artists who have country elements Post Malone.
We did Montero as well, I believe.
We did Montero. We did who did I just run into? Well, we did Taylor Swift. She has country.
We did two Taylor Swifts. Yeah.
Yeah, we did Taylor Swift like 7 times.
She's just that good.
Shawn Mendes isn't a country guy.
No, Shawn Mendes was.
And a lot of pop singers here, but
yep.
Doja
Exactly.
Cat, Troye Sivan,
Takeshi 6ix9ine.
Greta Van Fleet, remember them?
The country sounds of Takeshi 6ix9ine. Yeah.
But no, I think Old Town Road counts, right?
Anyway, so where could the nice people find you, Noah?
You don't care. I'm all about the Big Quiz Thing. Go to bigquizthing.com. Learn about the finest in corporate and private live trivia events nationwide, worldwide. Yes, I'm a creative person. I run a creative business. Lucky me. What do we got going on? Oh, good news, people. We have 2, count them, 2 unofficial, but 2 close to official public events in San Francisco coming this fall. Stay tuned for details on that. And a big announcement for a public thing happening in New York in the not too distant future. But really, it's all about corporate and private live trivia experience, nationwide, worldwide, virtually in-person hybrid, fundraisers, corporate events, private parties, you name it. Just booked a 50th birthday party, gearing up for a 35th birthday party, gearing up for another bar mitzvah.
This is all this is your life. These are all the things you're celebrating.
This is, me. We just did a weird coincidence. Last week, we did 2 unconnected, just a coincidence, unconnected events for different companies at the New England Aquarium. So the first ever Big Quiz Thing events done within 50 feet of a live penguin. So,
not the
like
last.
I said, I'm not giving up on achieving my goals. Soon it will be a puffin, eventually a manta ray,
a blue-footed booby. Yes.
Yeah, every undersea creature.
Deep sea chemotrophic worms, sulfur-eating
we'll
worms.
all play the Big Quiz Thing.
Yes.
The big sponge quiz thing. It'll be all about sponges. You know the joke, sponges grow in the ocean. How big would the ocean be if that didn't happen? Yeah, Stephen Wright. All right, and I'm personally on Instagram at the Noah Tarnow.
All right, everybody. So until the next episode, when the band Boston releases a song called Stella Lefty, we don't get it.
A production of American Caesar Enterprises 2026.